General quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Broadcasting live on WNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, iHeartRadio, and the World Wide Web. This is Make America Think Again with your Google Blacklisted host, Tom Trento.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
Hey, Tom. Showtime, Tom.
What?
Tom, New Year's Eve. Come on. Tom.
You got to be kidding me. Oh, my God. What a night.
A little too much bubbly, did you?
It was. I go to bed 10 o'clock usually. Really? Are we doing a show?
We are. We're doing this
How
show.
stupid are we? Why don't we tape it?
We should have taped it. But no, we're live. Come on.
All right.
Live.
Okay.
Time to make the donuts. Let's go. Time to make the donuts. Time to make the donuts.
All right, here we are on New Year's. Damn wide awake. Are you? I go to bed 10 o'clock at night. I stayed up. I looked at the thing, the ball drop. It's fun. It's all of that stuff. Now, one of our guys, Barry, we have to get a report from him.
We do.
He was supposed to be in the middle of 2 million people. I don't think so.
With his diapers.
Yeah, that's not happening.
With these Depends.
That is not happening. All right, a new decade. Here we are, January 1st, 2020, just a couple of minutes after 11 in the morning. Thank you for tuning in. Tom Trento, WWNN 1470, 95.3 with J. Mark. How was your night?
It's good.
Anything extraordinary?
No, just, ball dropping, stuff like that,
Well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do today. We're just going to kick back.
I have a very boring life, Tom. I really do.
Wherever it goes, the show. But hang with us. We want to find out when this whole thing, New Year's, came about.
Right.
I mean, people just do things. Here, we make Americans think. Make America think again. Did you ever think about where New Year's came from? And what is it? We just do it.
It started at zero.
If somebody said, jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you go, okay, let's jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, Yeah. We're going to tell you the background for New Year's and even Christmas. That's kind of a bizarre event. But my favorite song on New Year's is what?
Auld Lang Syne.
Old Anxiety or whatever the name of it is.
Auld Lang Syne.
No, I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce the name. Certainly no one knows anything about the lyrics, but it's got this kind of gestalt, this kind of feel to it.
Yeah. Time's gone past.
Could we cue, what is it, Auld Lang Syne?
Yeah, AULDLANGSYNE.
Auld Lang Syne. We heard it 100 times last night. Let's hear it again.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and
now we'll go to verse 2. Let's listen.
For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for.
All right, now listen to the next few lines. You tell me what they're saying, these foreigners. Oh, no, they skipped a good line. Okay, all right. Enough of that right now. Where's this thing come from?
I know.
You do know?
Yeah.
Where's it come from?
It's an old Scottish song.
Oh, Scottish song, my laddie.
It's actually Auld Lang Syne. Very, very are Scottish words. Old.
A-U-L-D is old or all?
Old. Everybody, when they say Auld Lang Syne, they're saying old, O-L-D, Lang Syne, which is actually wrong, but it's actually Auld Lang Syne, which does mean old.
Okay, so old, A-U-D means old. What does lang, L-A-N-G mean?
Old times past, I think, is what it means.
Old, you think. You said you know, now you're telling me you think.
Old long since. Lang, yeah, lang. Old long since.
Let's Google that. Let's Google. Old
lang.
long since?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Time's gone past, days gone by. The guy who wrote it is talking about with his buddies, remembering it's of the past years.
So he's a Scottish man or an Irish man?
Scottish.
All right, let's see. I'm reading the lyrics. Should old, A-U-L-D, acquaintance be forgot?
Right.
Should old acquaintance be forgotten and never brought to mind? Is he saying yes or no?
Should be forgotten, never brought them out. I don't know.
Should old friends be forgotten and never brought to mind? No, of course not.
Okay.
So he says that twice. Then he says, for old lang syne, for old, what?
Old long since, old times
For old
past.
long since, my Joe. For old long since, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet. For old long since,
The days gone by. Right.
for days gone by. And surely you'll be your pint stop. Your pint stop.
Yeah.
What is a pint stop?
They drink. What do you expect? They're drinking a pint of beer.
And surely I'll be mine. And we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
For old times past,
Okay.
yeah.
We twa ha run about the braes.
Oh, you're going back to the original.
We twa, I guess we two,
Yeah. It's
have run about the braes. What's a bray?
I don't know.
The
what
fields, maybe?
Fields, probably. Yeah.
And we put the goings fine. GOWANS.
I never heard these lyrics.
We put the goings fine.
These must be the original
Let's
lyrics.
just make it up. And we put the goings. So you and I are running about the braes. We put the goings
All
fine.
right.
We put the goings fine. What could it mean? What could it mean? Hey, we're trying to figure out this song.
Stupid song. Nobody knows the words. They just kind of mumble through. Well, they're drinking too, so it
People
really
just
doesn't matter.
kiss and mumble and everything. 7-8 minutes after the hour, after 11 o'clock on January 1st, 2020. Tom Trento, your host here on a fabulous beginning of a new decade, a new decade.
Decade.
Mark and I are here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we are doing what no men have ever done on the face of the earth.
Just figure out the song.
We're looking at the lyrics of Old Lang Syne. I'm reading it.
Old long since.
Old long since.
Time's
Okay.
gone by.
So here we
Days
have,
gone by.
right now, the two of us, the twa had run about the braes. I would say braes are a field or something.
Tom, I'm not.
Could
I'm
be
not,
moose. Could be elephants.
Tom, I'm not running much Ray with you. Whatever, it is. Whatever that means.
Okay.
I ain't doing that.
All right. Well, okay. So we have female mates. Is that how it works?
I guess so.
I know you. You have a female mate. You're running about the braes. You put the goins fine. GOWAN. GOWANS fine. You put your nice clothes on.
I
Who
guess
knows?
so.
But we've wandered a mony, a weary foot. Sing old lang syne.
Money, a worry foot.
But we've wandered mony. Oh, but we've wandered a many, a weary foot.
Okay.
So you're running about the braes. You got your goings on, and now your feet are getting weary.
And you're
For good times past.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting it. We twa had paid the burn fra morning sun till dine. So
no wonder we make up our own words of the stupid song.
this is ridiculous. And everybody was singing it. Like, you got to be drunk to sing this song. We twa had paid the burn from morning till dine. We too had paid the burn. I guess this is they were drunk in the morning.
Yeah.
From morning till dine.
That's it.
But seas between us, braid hath roared. Oh.
Ooh.
So they're separated. Sing old. Okay. So they run around the fields. They got drunk. The sea separated them. And now
It kind of says the night.
a
Yeah.
plot twist. And there's a hand, my trusty fear, and gies a hand of thine. Okay. So there's a hand, my trusty fear. Fear must be my friend.
No wonder I can never understand a Scottish person.
And gies a hand of thine. There's a hand, and the hand is mine. This is like translating a foreign language.
Yeah.
And we'll take a right grud willy wot. That's what it says. And we'll take a right guide willy wot for old lang syne. This is tough. Who could help us out? And we'll take a right good Gude willy Willy Watt WAUGHD. And we'll take a right guide willy Watt.
We take a right guide really what? Say it correctly, Tom.
old-
Say
And
it
we'll take
correctly,
a
Thomas.
right guide willy Watt.
We take a right guide really what?
We just make a right-hand turn and go wherever the hell we go. Okay. Throw caution to the wind for old lang syne, my Joe. For old lang syne, we'll take, and then he repeats the whole kindness thing. Okay, this is a drunk song if I ever saw
I
one.
take like a lily there
There you go. Well, Happy New
Happy
Year,
New Year.
everybody.
Yeah,
Get another
yeah.
glass of wine there, Mark, for me, please.
And I think,
Oh, wait a minute.
What? It's a
Wait
plot
a
twist? Is there a plot
minute.
twist?
There could be a plot twist there if I had a computer that actually worked. Speaking of computers working, if you'd like to donate to the United West, theunitedwest.org, our website, we do take donations. They are tax deductible, and we do need new equipment so that we can say either even brighter and better things.
Like that Gulila Walk.
Here's a hand.
Really good.
I thought, okay, all right, I got the meaning of it, okay? Old Lang Syne, AULD, Lang Syne, me. Look, hey, we're having fun on New Year's. No one ever figured this out. We're telling you. And I'm telling you right now, the most accurate plain English interpretation of old long since, or you could say for the sake of old time. So it's a remembering the past year. And I'm going to read a little bit. The song itself is reflective in nature and basically about two friends catching up over a drink or two. Do we need that drink in there?
It's Scottish.
Their friendship having been long and occasionally distant.
Yes.
So we got two friends. They were separated by the sea, and they wanted to drink together.
And they came back after the sea and started drinking.
The words were
That's
written by
surprising.
Scottish poet Robert Burns. Guess what year? This is part of the problem.
Oh, it has to be like 1800s,
Earlier,
1700s.
1788.
Oh, that's like Yankee Doodle Dandy time. Yeah.
Yep. But Robert Burns himself revealed when he was composing this that he had collected the words after listening to a verse of an old man on his travels. The guy was claiming that his version of Old Lang Syne marked the first time it had ever been formally written down. But there was an earlier one, so they're fighting over who made these crazy tunes. But it's basically...
It goes all the way back to 1568?
No,
that's the original?
1788.
But they have-
1788. They go back a little earlier, 1711. They're fighting over, when the first one was. But now, why do people sing it at midnight? Ding, and every show, everything. Well, the tradition began in Scotland, and where at midnight they would join hands and start singing, and they sang this song. Somehow it came from Scotland to, I guess, everything goes through Britain to the United States.
Yeah. Yep. But I do have a couple trivia questions for you, Tom, which I learned the other day. How big is the ball?
Oh, so we're leaving Old Lang Syne with
I'm kind of segueing into
2016, 18. We're about 18 minutes after the hour. On the January 1st, Tom Trento, your host, Make America Think Again. Look, we're starting out light, okay? We had a lot of heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we spoke to Claire Lopez about this ongoing mess in Baghdad. We'll get back to that stuff tomorrow.
They ain't
Now
going
we're
away
late.
anytime soon.
We're talking about old, I always thought it was Old Lang Syne or something. Old, A-U-D, Lang, S-Y-N-E, for old times, essentially. And it's two mates who are good friends. They're separated by the sea. They get together, have a few drinks. And then around midnight in Scotland, they start singing this song because their friends are coming back together. And
But
made
more
its
importantly,
way.
they started drinking before
They started drinking before midnight.
We need a song.
And from around 1800, it made its way back to New York City and the United States in 2020. I love the symmetry of 2020. I just love that concept. The year 2020. It's going to be a great year.
2020 vision.
Now, the ball you're talking about, is it the ball that was at one of the football games recently? That ball? What ball are you talking about?
No, the ball comes to New York City.
Oh, the New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, like the diamond ball or
Crystal.
glass crystal. Is that
Crystal.
crystal?
Yeah,
Is it really?
Waterford Crystal actually.
Waterford Crystal. Tell me about it,
Well,
because I
it's
know
12
all about it.
Do you? Oh, so how big is it?
Oh, come on now. That's simple stuff.
Are you?
That's so simple. It
Okay.
isn't funny. You mean the 2688 crystal paneled orb for 19 years? That one? Is that the one you're
Yes.
talking about?
How much does it weigh?
Oh, is that what you're talking about? How much does it weigh? You mean the 12-foot in diameter ball that weighs 11,000 pounds, 11,875 pounds? That one?
Well, you read very well, Tom. All right, where was what was it originally meant to do?
Oh, you mean the ball that originally was meant to signify the coming of the millennium? That ball? No.
No, back further than that.
Oh, you mean when the sailors were sailing in England and had to set their clocks? They didn't even have clocks, probably.
Chronometers, yeah.
Yeah, the chronometers.
Well, actually, there was called the H1, the H2, and all those. That was actually a big story about how they created chronometers. One day we'll go into that, maybe.
Okay, they had some device that told them what time it was, but they
so they needed it so they can tell the longitude of where they were from the meridian. That's how they tell their position.
From a former Navy man, we have that on this first day.
But it goes
of
back even
January.
further than that.
And I know the ball. There was a lighthouse, but it was a ball that would go down every hour like church bells. But you can't hear church bells way out at sea. So they saw this ball go down, and they said, "Oh, it's the hour." But what hour would it be? How would they know?
Well, because they always did it at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And because right past high noon, so everybody could see and set their clocks at 1 o'clock. Usually is what it was. Sometimes it was every hour.
So the concept of a ball dropping to establish a specific time comes from what, a couple hundred years ago?
No, actually it goes back further than that.
Okay, tell me.
It goes all the way back to Greece, where they had the balls to do. They had balls that dropped at 1 o'clock every day, so everybody could set their clocks up all the way back to Greece. That's pretty amazing. When I learned that, I was like, "Oh my God, it goes back that far."
Well,
but it had nothing to do with New Year's Eve. It just signifying
it
the
did
starting.
that, and then somehow we'll trace it down because here we make America think again. Tom Trento, your host, WWNN 1470 in the morning. We're here. We're faithfully here about 25 minutes after 35. Wait, what would it be? 40, 57,
I don't know. Maybe we should use
minutes.
Maybe we should use the ball that comes down every day in the United States. Hold on, this is a trivia question. I bet you don't know.
What?
There's a ball that comes down every day.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the United States.
Right.
To mark the time exact of each day of the year.
I do not know. I know there's an atomic clock in Boulder, Colorado, because I lived out there. But I don't know about the dropping ball that I think is totally a fantasy that you're making
No, it's not. It's where the atomic clock is in Washington, D.C. They have the one that drops every hour at the Naval Observatory in Washington, D.C. And I did not know that till recently. But it comes down every day as a symbolic, counting down of time every year. And there's actually a leap second, believe it or not. But anyway.
Well, I want to get into whatever we can today, wherever the muse leads.
And today's a leap year.
We are clear-headed. I had a glass of wine or something. I don't drink. I'll have a occasional glass of wine. I like red wine. White wine gives me a headache back in my head. I don't really like white wine.
You like champagne?
But it gives me a super headache.
Really?
I like a IPA beer every once in a while, like on a warm day, whatever. But a glass of wine just to relax here and there, I love it. I used to drink more wine, and I needed to. I had a former life before I took a vow of poverty.
Okay.
I took a vow of poverty around 2007, starting the United West, a nonprofit.
Oh, it's the same vow I took.
That's the same one you took. And I have, in my former life, I was involved in some business stuff, and I had to meet with important people. I'm being vague here purposely. And I had a wardrobe that was absolutely astonishing. Being Italian, I like Italian designers. I have beautiful Armani suits. I have Versace. I have, let's see, what are some other ones?
I haven't seen you wear one of those in a while, Tom.
Well,
something happened.
For kicks, I tried this several thousands of dollars Armani on that I had made. And I went, oh my God, what a waste of material. The stupid suit sitting in my closet shrunk like you can't believe.
That's amazing.
It shrunk about 3 sizes. I'm going to complain to Armani. They guarantee it doesn't shrink.
Lifetime, right?
Lifetime. So either I got to somehow expand the suit or decrease myself.
I like option A.
So the wine was increasing the size of parts of my body that I don't want to be increased. So I cut back on. I didn't drink a lot of wine, but I'd have a couple glasses a night. Plus, it's a lot of sugar, and people are saying sugar kills you and all that stuff. So I'm trying to live a healthy life.
Oh, that's what kills me. I was listening to the story the other day about it was a Pocahontas was complaining about Buttigieg and his $3,000 wine party. She goes, "Well, I had a wine party though, but nobody, we just drank our normal, $60 bottle of wine." We're like,
$60 bottle of wine.
That's how clueless she is about what America thinks. I don't want to get about politics, but just the wine thing.
You could get that. What's that kangaroo stuff called? The kangaroo.
Yellowtail.
Yellowtail. It's like $6-7 at Publix.
I know.
It's great wine. It's
it
good.
is. I'll shred it.
And look,
yeah,
we have rolled here at the United West with very, very wealthy people here and there drinking very expensive wine. And I would say out of 10 different glasses of expensive wine, bottles in excess of $100 to us, that's very expensive.
Yeah.
I would say 2 or 3 times you taste something that goes, this is really okay. Smoothness, everything was just the tannins, everything was fabulous.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a complete waste of money.
The only thing I found consistent as far as a bang for your buck, I call it, is in champagnes. The higher you go in champagnes, then that definitely is worth it. But it's not, there's no reason to be paying, that amount for a wine. I just don't see it. And I've tasted every wine out there too, I think. But yeah, I don't see the bang for your buck value on I can see going from like a $10 to $20 bottle of wine. That's a difference. There's a difference in flavor in that. But beyond that, it's so minimal. It's definitely not worth it.
Not worth it. Absolutely. So the what are the sommeliers? Is that what it is? The sommelier.
Yeah.
Sommelier information here.
Oh,
wine expert information.
I got a good sommelier tip I learned from the sommelier of France about the alcohol. If you ever want to know how a dry bottle of wine is or a sweet a bottle of wine is, this is taught to me by the French sommelier with a gold little cup on his chest. He says, go look at the back of the bottle of wine and look at the alcohol content. If it's 13.5, it's dry, and go all the way up to 14.5 is the driest. Anything below 13.5, like 13 or 12.5, and down the list is sweeter.
Oh, I never knew that.
And then you go all the way down to like the Rieslings and stuff like that to like 8 or 9%. And all it is the amount of sugar they drop into the bottle of wine. If it has absolutely no sugar and just purely from the grapes, it's going to be like 14 or 14 and a half. But look at the bottle. Every bottle of wine has alcohol content.
Of course, yeah.
So look at that if you want to, and you impress your friends and say, hey, this is a really dry bottle of wine. They'll taste, oh, yeah, it's really dry. How did you know? I don't know. I'm psychic.
All right. That's a good wine tip. And all my years of opening bottles of wine, and I can taste, obviously, a dry wine is bitter.
Yeah.
Simply state it. And if you're drinking a dry bottle of wine, which I happen to like as opposed to sangria, you get your wine and put 6 scoops of sugar in it. Then you leave the dry wine, let it what's the word?
Aerate.
Aerate, yeah. You could put it. I had I went through the whole aerating thing with little containers, and just let it sit on your glass and let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and then it kind of burns off. It breathes.
Yeah.
I did not know that the line of demarcation was 13.5% alcohol, because most of it stuff that is red wine is 14. So that's on the dry side that I choose.
Unknowingly.
All right, so we told you about this crazy Scottish song that makes no sense, but everybody sings. Now we're telling you about wine. Let's get back to the
we
ball.
go to Champagne, too. Champagne.
All right, well, you know Champagne. You lived and worked and whatever in France.
In the caves. Yeah, went down to it's really amazing in Taittinger. It was the Tattingers, the caves down in France. Went down there, there's this total white, picture this total white cave of just chalk cave, goes back as far as you can see. And you stand up on this riser and you look down there and you see racks upon racks upon racks upon racks upon racks of champagne that haven't been,
Oh, I got a question for you. White wine are the green grapes. Red wine are the red grapes. What is champagne?
White. It can't actually be red, but
So
everybody
it comes out. So what makes it champagne versus white wine?
the carbonation.
Oh, you got to stick the bubbly in it.
Yeah, and also it's the way. Now going back to the Tattnjay Cave, you're down there and you're looking across this Tattnjay Cave, and they got these little white, and all the bottles are facing inward into the like at a 30-degree angle on these racks, and on each one of these racks is a little white mark, like a little, like you put like a nail polish on it, a little white nail polish.
Okay.
And you look at it, and they're all in the same direction. And then you see this guy going down the row, just going boop, turning it like a quarter turn.
Oh, okay. Like a little dial, but
That's
he's
all
turning the bottle a quarter turn.
Turns the bottle a quarter turn to get the sediment to go all the way down the front of the bottle. So they do that for about 10 years.
About 10 years.
Seriously.
Nice job for that guy.
And that's all he does. He just turns the bottle.
Hey, Joe, get downstairs and turn the bottles.
So it's a quarter turn. And then when they get ready to...
What year is it? It's year 7. You got 3 more years. I want to get out of here.
And like a Krug wine is they do it for 20 years. But so they get all the sediment down the end of it, and they get all the sediment. So how
Now,
do
you
you
think about this. An old guy who's been doing it, he's going to start on a batch of 20-year wine, and he's like 75 years old. He's going to go, I'm going to be dead before this wine, anybody enjoys it. What kind of life is this? I'm turning somebody's bottle of champagne that's probably some rich rapper in New York that's going to shoot it all over the sky.
That's right.
Great life. All right, go ahead.
So
Keep going.
they get all the sediment down at the bottom of the bottle, okay, and then they take the bottle out and they put it in this machine upside down, so the sediment doesn't go anywhere, and they take the bottom of the sediment and they flash freeze it like with nitrogen, okay, and then they flip it over and they cut off the top and a little bit of shame the cork
They
pops.
cut off the top of the bottle?
Yeah, it's corked. It's
Oh,
corked.
they take the cork off.
Yeah,
Oh.
they cut off the cork of the bottle,
Okay.
and boom, it pops out, and then they immediately put the cork back on it to blow out the sediment. Now that bottle right there, that way, is the driest wine you could possibly get.
Wow.
Now, what they'll do to make the other wines, like the extra dries and the demi-secs and stuff like that, they just add sugar to it. The same exact bottle. It's the same exact. So if you go to
tweak it.
Yeah, if you go to Publix and you get like a Corbel and it says Brut, well, that's the one that has any sugar in it. All the other ones just have a little bit more
Oh,
sugar.
the Brut has no sugar. Oh.
And the extra dry has a little bit of sugar. The demi-sec.
The extra dry is the bitter
I
one.
know,
that has
I
sugar.
know,
It's
I know.
counterintuitive.
It is counterintuitive. But it has more sugar in it. And you also see the alcohol content in the back go down because the sugar reduces the alcohol content.
Okay, so stay tuned for dessert time here at the United West. We've told you the wines to choose, what music to play when you're
Right.
bringing in the new year, and now our desserts. Best way, go to Dunkin' Donuts, get their Bavarian.
Well, I do have a
cream,
good
their
dessert
Boston cream.
Mandarin orange cake recipe for you.
Okay. But I want to get to the ball, all right?
Okay.
Because everybody saw this ball last night, and he has a big ball once a year, whatever. The guy behind the whole thing is an Irishman once again. Well, the other guy was a Scottish guy, right? The old
Close,
guy.
same thing.
Yeah,
Same
not
thing.
when they fight each other. It's not. But
Same
Tom Brennan, he comes from a little Irish town. He's in charge of the Waterford Ball. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
And 111 years. 111 years. This thing has been coming down in Times Square in New York.
Since 1907.
Well, no, 100. Well, yeah. Whatever. 111 years ago. We're out of the. We're in the. What decade is this? The 21st century now.
21st?
That's right.
Okay.
1.2 billion people. So what's that? About 20%, 25%, 20% of the world watches this thing go down, and people get happy. And when I was living in Jersey in a rural area, I take out a shotgun, boom, boom, boom. You can shoot it. But I always shot it into the ground because I was a very cautious New Year's Eve reveler. And it is Waterford Crystal, as you said. There are 2,688 of those panels that are on there, those little triangular panels. And this guy, his job, he starts working today on the ball for next year.
Wow.
He takes a week off, he says.
I didn't know that.
And then he starts improving it. Each week, in Waterford, a little town in southeast Ireland. It's a town.
Actually been there.
You've been to Waterford?
Yeah, I actually got Waterford crystal glasses from Waterford.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And
47,000 people. His father was a glass blower for years, so he's the guy who does it. In 1986, Tom Brennan, when he was 16, he said, I want to learn how to do this thing. So he started making all of this, and then he was promoted in his 20s to a master artesian glass blower, making your Waterford crystal in your little town.
yeah.
So, but the question I have for you, is the ball the same pattern every year, or does it get changed?
It's still a ball. What do you mean? It doesn't turn to a diamond.
The pattern of those little panels.
Well, there's changes with the LEDs that they put into them, right?
Well, technically, in 2014, the theme was imagination. Then it was fortitude and wonder and kindness and serenity. And who the heck is
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And
I know that's what it was last night.
2019, the theme is harmony.
Oh.
Of course, it's all a marketing message, but he tries to figure out how to have the reflection of the lights and the new
LEDs
crystals he puts in to be harmony. It's 12 feet in diameter. It's almost 12,000 pounds. How does the thing get made? You have any idea?
No, I don't. Actually.
They make the panels each year, and there's some updated technology. They bring in the sand. I go through the whole process, and they assemble everything. Let's see. It looks like they assemble everything in Waterford, Ireland.
Oh, really?
I don't think so. That's crazy.
Well, no, it makes sense because that's where they make all the Waterford crystal, is in Waterford, Ireland.
But now it's kept in Times Square building. They ship in new panels. So they do send new panels each year in special containers.
Well, they got a year to do it. So.
They're kept in a secret location in New York City.
Oh, really?
They're guarded every day. This stuff must be expensive, huh?
Well, Waterford crystal is expensive.
And on December 27th, the engineers start building this 12,000-pound monstrosity.
I can't believe it's 12,000 pounds.
Why is it?
That's 6 tons.
Why isn't it just a simple round thing that's made out of plastic?
What did you just drop a ball? Come on. Well,
The first time they actually dropped the ball is 1907. Now things have changed. Back then it was wood and steel, had 100 light bulbs. Now there's 13,000 LED lights, 13,000. And engineers build in billions of different light patterns. Do you remember what it looked like last night? It looked just jumping all over the place, wasn't it?
It's just a crystal ball to me, I didn't catch the harmony part or whatever the theme was.
Harmony. I'm going to go look at some reruns and see what the harmony of the ball in Times Square was all about.
Redder or bluer this year? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, so look, Tom Trento here give us credit. We're working on January 1st, 2020. Are we really? Is it Memorex? Is it live or is it in color? And we have a phenomenal year planned for you. A little bit of fun today. But our work is geared toward, and I want you to listen carefully, we are taking a leadership role in the United States, but more particularly in the state of Florida, to mobilize 1,000,001 evangelical Christians at the end of this week in Miami. President Trump is launching his evangelical campaign in the country, but it's going to be launched here in Florida, in the city of Miami. We will be there as press covering it 5 o'clock Friday night, January 3rd, just a couple of days away from today. And this came out of the whole brouhaha about some evangelicals, Bible-believing Christians, telling other Christians, you're immoral if you vote for President Trump. So it is a battle within the evangelical community, but it's the evangelical community that will either deliver a win on November 3rd, 2020 for the president or not, because we have between 1 and 5 million who are not voting. We know for sure 1 or 2 million. We think, based upon the demographic data we have, there could be another 2 or 3 million who are occasional, not consistent. Mark, do you think this brouhaha a brouhaha, is going to decrease or increase the amount of evangelical Christians voting on November 3rd?
I think it's going to have to increase. Oh, well, first of all, it can't go anywhere but up since we're at a 50% voting rate. Okay, looking at that thing, and plus Trump's actually been knocking it out of the park. Evangelical wise, he's with Israel, and with this new found support from Christian and Jewish support. I mean, he's knocking it out of the park on the Israel side, and I think it's just making a lot of people mad. I just think this whole thing is just really.
I think that's good. I think. And who am I? Tom Trento. I am the host of the show. Jay Mark is in the control room running things, and we bring you this show every day, 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 11 a.m. East Coast time to 12 o'clock. We know we have friends and fans worldwide listening. So whatever time it is, wherever you are, let's see if it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Is it New Year's everywhere in the United States? Yeah, I guess it is. Right? It is. So it's New Year's everywhere in the United States. Happy New Year's to all our friends
everywhere
worldwide. No, Hawaii yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 o'clock, 5 hours difference. Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it has to be.
Worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. It's January 1st. I don't know, the Muslims, they don't do January. They do crazy calendar.
No.
In their mind, maybe, but if they want to live in the world, it's January 1st, 2020. And our objective for the show, our edutainment, that's a term we coined several years ago on this show, edutainment. You want to tell the audience what edutainment means, Marky?
Entertainment and education.
We educate and entertain at the same time. Sometimes we don't know whether we're entertaining or educating, but if you have to take this stuff seriously. But if you don't laugh a little bit, you'll swallow your revolver. I mean, this is crazy.
We make
stuff.
jihad fun.
Yeah, we make jihad fun. We talked to Claire yesterday, Claire Lopez, and she gave us the rundown of the complexities in Iraq and the worldwide mandate, global mandate that Iran has from Allah to dominate and destroy and dominate, destroy if necessary, any enemy, Iran. They are theocratically linked into a destructive and satanic worldview that requires them to get to heaven to dominate, control everybody everywhere. And these are bad people, and they're brilliant people. They're Persians. They're very, very smart. They've had empires, the Persian Empire, thousands of years ruling the world. They feel now they can regain that glory and majesty through defeating two countries, the United States and Israel. And the United West stands in the middle of this, making sense out of all of this. And the reason why it's so important to bring Donald Trump, love him or hate him, and we understand there are people that don't like him, don't like his mannerisms. Look, if you're not from New York, you don't like anybody from New York, okay? They're rude, they're this, they're that, the whole deal. Me growing up in New Jersey, this is the way New York, New Jersey people are. It's not that big of a deal. But if you're concerned about your children, your children's children, your grandchildren, their grandchildren, your parents, anyone, your net worth, your future, your freedom, if you're concerned about anything that matters in this world, you have to make a choice on November 3rd. You have to make a very, very serious choice. You have to get up, you have to drive to a polling station somewhere in the United States of America. For those of you in Florida, you got to get up and go out, and you got to make an intelligent decision. And you're going to have to make a decision between Donald Trump. He's not going to be impeached. He's going to be there.
Right.
Between Donald Trump and, name them off, Marky boy.
No.
Who are the ones on the other side?
Oh, who knows?
Elizabeth
nobody
Warren's
cares.
there.
Nobody cares. That's the whole
Joe
point.
Biden, but we'll make it very tangible for our friends here. Pete Buttigieg, we'll make believe he's going to be there. Who else is left? Cory Booker. Kamala. Is Kamala there? No, she's gone.
She's gone. Tom Steyer. Oh, God.
Tom Steyer. What a zero that guy is. How the hell did he make money?
It blows. And he's dumping a ton more money into Florida, too.
Bloomberg is dumping money in.
Yeah.
So okay,
Now, I just want to make one
Yeah.
quick point here. Is it's not just about Trump. Okay, we got to get this through people's heads. It's about the Congress too, because if they control the Congress, you're going to have 4 more years, 2 more years after that of just nothing but more impeachment, more craziness coming. We have to get the House out of there too. It's not just about Trump, because his hands are tied with the House the way it is, and it's crazy if you vote for any Democrat, any way, shape, or form, because like our friend Trevor Loudon says, every one of them, has Marxist ties to somewhere. He goes, it's incredible, and especially whoever comes up to the lead, to the top of the pack now, even Joe Biden. I mean, seriously, you want to have Gaff Joe, as our president, and you look, but
I think one way of helping all Americans, all Floridians, to distill the seriousness of the decision, and to have some sort of tangible framework to hold on in terms of thinking intelligently and making a decision. This sounds comical and humorous, but go beyond that. Look at what's behind what I'm going to tell you right now. Make believe you walk into the voting booth with George Washington on one side and Abraham Lincoln on the other side. 2 great presidents. One helped start the country, one helped save the country. You walk in there and you look at the presidency, the 2 different names. You look at Trump and then any of the others we just listed, and you go, hey, Abe, yo, George, what should I do here? Where am I going?
Left or right?
Yeah. Do you think George Washington is going to say, that Booker guy, that Cory Booker guy, he's really got it going. He's got it going. Or
Buttigieg,
Bernie Sanders. That's why we started this country. We started this country so that to give everybody can give everything away. That's it. That's why. Oh, Buttigieg. Oh yeah. The stuff he wants to do is amazing. If you ask
total Marxist,
George Washington and Abraham Lincoln who you should vote for, they're going to tell you to vote for Donald Trump. Why? They don't even have to know Donald Trump. If you just said, what is Donald Trump for, is another way of voting. What are these guys for? And name the 5 top policy objectives for each side. This is what the platform is of the party.
right?
And you have Abraham Lincoln and George Washington look at the platform of each party, and you say, who should I vote for? They're going to say, what are we doing here? Abe, come on, let's go back to what we were doing. They're going to go, are you people crazy? We didn't start this country and save this country so people could destroy this country and give it away. That makes no sense. I don't know who Sanders is, and I don't know who Trump is, but that stuff that Trump is supporting, we're for, and that Trump stuff that Sanders is supporting, we're against. Pretty simple.
Right.
That's a way of looking at this.
Right.
And Donald Trump, that's why you got to remove his personality, though his personality is what's driving his agenda and getting it done. Imagine if he didn't have all these like Gulliver's Travels, when they tied Gulliver down, all their Lilliputians, and they're all holding him and tying ropes on him and trying to get him down and all. Imagine if he could just move freely. That's your point, Mark.
Yep.
Having a House and a Senate that is philosophically, politically in line. What great stuff we can do for this country. But the other side's going to say, that's not great, you're ruining it. Then we go back to Washington and Lincoln and say, are we ruining the country if we have a sovereign state with designated borders? Is that they're going to go,
No.
Don't ask us stupid questions, okay?
Smack you around.
I rode a white horse and killed British people trying to start this country. And Lincoln says, I hung out with Ulysses S. Grant. We drank a lot of beer together,
Right.
and we beat the South. So don't ask stupid questions of these guys. Unbelievable. We
I
got to
know.
do something on that whole idea.
And all you have to do is read the last line of the Declaration of Independence. Would you have that commitment?
Our sacred. Oh, well, that line. Okay, that's a good line.
Our lives, our fortune, our sacred honor. Is that, you talk about doing everything for family, kids, and your grandkids, grandkids. there's some of us that don't have any kids, but we do it just because we love this country, and I think that should be your.
That's
core.
a very, very good point to say. Would you risk your life,
Would you give up your fortune,
your wealth, and your honor for the world, the United States that Bernie Sanders wants to create, that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that everybody in California wants? A borderless country, a open door for anybody to do anything they want here, live here, whatever. Legalization of all drugs. Buttigieg, he now wants to legalize all drugs, recreational drugs, so that it alleviates the problem in the court system. I mean, insane stuff. Is this the kind of country that the framers gave their lives, their fortune, and their honor for?
Well, and I'm going to bring it up to the 2020. I know you have, Tom. I know we've talked about this many times. Are you willing to give your life for this? I mean, physically, your life. And he goes, yeah, half of me thinks that I'm going to get a bullet in the back of my head from somebody. And I believe you. And I believe it's possible for me too, but more for you. And I know you've given up your fortune. And I know people call you racist, hater, Islamophobe, so your honor is challenged all the time. And so, yeah, you have that patriotism of the founding fathers, and that's why we should be doing this, folks. It's for our country. It's for our, what our founders gave, and why we have the freedoms we have now.
And one of the great presidents of the United States, not Barack Obama, 2008 to 2016, said regarding his wealth, right? Because you mentioned wealth.
Yeah.
He said
he's impoverished. He's impoverished.
He said, at a certain point, you've made enough money. Remember when he said that?
Yep.
He was for the common man, for the underdog. Total Marxist in his philosophy. Obviously wanted to bring the hugest socialist program, Obamacare, in the world into being. Tried to. It's been mitigated quite a bit. You're going to keep your doctors, all that nonsense. Everybody knew that was a fraud. But he was always railing against wealthy people, saying you need to...
Just like Bernie.
To read, yeah. Well, things have changed a bit. It seems that Mr. Obama has struck gold in being a president of the United States. From 2005 to 2016. He got in 2008. But from 2005, when he started all his campaigning and all of that, the Obamas earned, you ready for this?
What?
$20.5 million. $20 million in 11 years.
Well, I thought it was more than that.
That's up until 2016.
Oh.
Then, when they left office, they joined the speaking circuit, and Obama left office as being the 10th highest paid public speaker in America. He brought in $1.2 million from 3 speeches to guess what organization or what group of people?
I have no idea.
The ones he wanted to destroy, Wall Street.
Oh, what, really?
Remember, he was so much against Wall Street and Occupy Wall Street and all that stuff. He spoke for Wall Street bankers and Wall Street, financiers. They paid him $400,000 a speech. Guess how much Michelle gets now for going and blabbing someplace?
$250,000.
Yep, $225 million.
Wow.
To have her there.
That was a guess.
All right, so they made $20 million. Now,
but listen, I have no problem with making the money. I really don't. More power to them. If they can take $10 million a speech.
No, not them, because theoretically I agree with you. But these are lying hypocrites. These are people that always talked about the evil of wealthy people. They just cut a deal with Penguin Books. The Penguin goofy little books.
Yeah.
Guess how much the cash advance was?
$10 million.
$65 million.
Are you kidding me? God.
That's the least amount of money they're going to make from the book deal. They have to write 2 standalone books from them, right? So that's what Penguin Books, Random House, they gave him $65 million.
Hey, I got the title of his book. How I made $65 million.
How I screwed America being a fake president. Unbelievable.
Lying to you
And do you
all.
think they said, you know what? We have $100 million now. We don't need that. Nobody needs $100 million.
They'll write a check.
We're going to buy a house.
They'll write a check to the
We're going
government.
to put money in the bank for our kids. We're going to give away $95 million. We're going to keep $5 million. Is that what they said?
Yeah, of course.
No, they went to Washington. They bought an $8.1 million home next to Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Then they said, "Oh, let's go to the Hamptons. We're black, but we're really white, so we can go to the Hamptons."
Oh, his
because
white side's coming out.
his white side's coming out. Let's go to the Hamptons. The Hamptons is white,
Martha.
rich people, slave-owning people, right? But he can play both sides of that whole thing. $14.8 million for a 7,000 square foot, 29-acre beachside property, not in the Hamptons, Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard. Now, here's the problem. He's a big fighting climate control. His house isn't going to be there in 12 years.
That's right.
He just paid $15 million for a place that's not going to be there in 12
Now I got
years.
a question about this whole climate thing.
These hypocrites.
It's not going to be there in 12 years. The planet's going to die. People are going to die. Everybody's going to die in 12 years. There's not going to be any humans. I got a whole question about this climate control thing, climate change.
Wait, I got one more rant on Obama.
Okay, good.
A good friend of mine told me a long time ago, when you get money, it will emphasize the good part of you and the bad part of you. If you're a good person, you're going to do good things with the money. If you're a bad person, you're going to do bad things with the money. Or you're not going to use the money for good. You're going to go in that direction. This is exactly the nature of Obama. He was never for people, never for the common good, never for the countries, for himself all the time. And we said that for 8 years, and we documented it a million different ways. Now he gets $100 million, and what does he do? He's spending it on himself. Secretly he's giving money away. Baloney. Absolute baloney. He's a hypocrite, as are all these other Democrats. Yeah, what do you got, Mark?
No, well, Donald Trump, he makes $1 billion. But Donald Trump, and what's the argument for that, Tom?
The guy's net worth has gone down to being president.
Yeah.
Now they go, but it's going to go back up
But
when he leaves. He's got enough money. He doesn't need more money. Think about this. He was in the prime of his life, 70 years old, could have done anything, could have been
$1 billion,
anywhere.
$1 billion.
One of the most famous guys on the planet, popular celebrity. You know, what did he need to do this for? He did it out of love for the country, and that comes across every single day. And an effort to stand between the principles of Washington and Lincoln and the onslaught of the hordes, the communist hordes coming after them. We got about 3 or 4 minutes left.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to bring up the whole climate change. 12 years we're all supposed to be dead, right, Tom?
According to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, we will be dead.
So what happens after 6 years? Is half the population
Half
gone?
the population. That's a very good question. Maybe just on year 12, boom, everybody dies, right?
No, I mean, like year 3, I mean, it's like quarter of the population gone? I'm just curious. I'm just want to know the math here.
I'm stumped. I'm rarely stumped, but I'm stumped on that one. And then
Seriously, think about it. Yeah.
If you want to be serious, you have to divide 12 years into
Right,
the population.
7 billion people, is it?
But you've got to account for deaths and births each day.
Well, but we're at 7 billion right now. So in like 6 years, we're going to be at 3.5 billion.
Well, it's 7 billion. Let's make this simple. Let's say it's 10 years. That's 700 million a year,
Yeah.
right? 700 million
We'll
a year.
just make it easy and just say it's 1 billion a year. Okay.
All right, 1 billion a year.
Yeah.
We'll make it 1 billion a year. So let's say we have 500 days in a month. I mean, in a year.
Yeah.
500 into 1
I mean,
billion
365
is what?
days.
250,000 people a day have to die, more than normally die.
Right.
And then we're on track.
Then we're on track.
if that, we'll give her a week and a half.
Well,
If
can
we don't
track
see
it,
those numbers,
then
it's catastrophic.
well, unless it's a year 12 at midnight on January 1st, 2021.
What is she going to say in year 12 when she is
Just what she's
buying?
going to say in year 6.
When she's buying her Miami Beach mansion on the ocean, what is she going to say in year 12 that it's still there? What do you think she's going to say? What do they all say?
Well, it's the forecasts have just changed. We've moved them out, just like Al Gore said. Well, it didn't come as quick as we thought it was going to be, but it's still happening.
It's still happening, and I'm building my $50 million property here for my $200 million book deal to keep the people behind me safe. Just nonsense. All right, Mark, any new resolutions? We got about a minute or two left. What are your resolutions for 2020?
To get people motivated and fired up about this election, not just on Donald Trump, but with the other candidates as well. Because this is the most. It is. I hate saying this, but it is the most important election of our lifetime, and that's the reason we're putting all this effort into it a whole year in advance.
Yeah, a lot of work. No, that's admirable. And if I was asked if I had any resolutions,
Tom, what's your New Year's resolution?
Well, we have the election coming up. We have the Middle East, in a tinderbox, and we have the southern border. I mean, we have all these issues. My resolution for 2020 is to lose weight and go to the gym. I got to get back in the gym. I got to start exercising again and losing weight. I got to get that lean.
Well, you get back in those Armani suits.
I got to see lines in my stomach. Right now I just see kind of a mountain swell.
I know.
And
I know the feeling, Tom.
That is my resolution, and I'm cutting out sugar and carbs.
Sugar and carbs.
And for an Italian guy, that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But in any event, hey, thank you. It was a tremendous couple of months. We were on the radio in 19. We're looking so forward to an exciting 2020. Here every day. Tell your friends. We'll see you tomorrow on January 2nd.
And surely you'll be your pine stoop, and surely I'll be mine. And we'll take a cup of kindness yet for all of land's sign. And there's a hand my trusty fear, and gaze a hand o' thine. And we'll take a recht get well walked for all